wanted to make sure that I not only fed my family and, sold a bunch of cars, but I wanted to be number one. So it was worth it for me.
How to sell more cars.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 5-Minute Sales Meeting brought to you by the How to Sell More Cars podcast and Dealer Marketing Magazine. I'm your host, Terry Lancaster. Today we're going to be hearing from Chris Martinez. Chris is the general manager of Mercedes-Benz of San Antonio, and he's the best-selling author of The Closer, the Automotive Professional's Guide to Closing the Deal.
So when you go in on conversations with customers, usually it's just one more question. You're like one more question away from really getting out what the true objection is so that you can overcome it. And if you just ask the right question, sometimes it's so easy that the customer just says, they just lay down. If you go in and you talk to the customer, you have you build your quick rapport, but you basically tell them, hey, Mr. Customer, on a scale of 1 to 10, how close to you are a 10 in taking delivery of this vehicle? And if they tell you they're a 5 or a 6, or they're not even, so then you're not even on the right car. There's something wrong with the product. You got to follow up. I mean, I think when I was in sales, when I was on the sales floor, I sold over 30 cars a month. And a lot of the times, if I couldn't close them on day one, it was the amount of follow-up that I did. And I mean, there would be times I'd do a birthday call or something, the 60-day call that nobody wants to make, and people would answer. And I remember one specific conversation I had with a gentleman. I want to say his name was Daniel, and he said that, Chris, I don't know if you're just that good or you're just the most relentless person that I've ever come across, but I am now ready to buy this car.
When you're not having the right conversation, it's tough. But William J. McCormick from the Moses Auto Group in South Charleston, West Virginia says, when you're having the right conversation, everything flows like butter.
Well, as long as you are holding the conversation, well, like Chris is talking about, I mean, you're just having a conversation with a new friend. That's all you're doing. And, it should go and flow pretty smoothly. I mean, one of the things I've always preached is, if you've got a client, they're in there on an appointment call, all the kind of tedious stuff is taken care of before that customer walks in the door. The paperwork's already pretty much pre-written, as it were. Maybe you're just waiting to finalize the car, make sure that they like it before you stick that part in there, but everything else is ready to go.
Bottom line is, you want the conversation to be so easy that closing is just the next obvious step. And the way you make it easy, the way you make it natural, is practice, practice, practice.
I tell them that they just got to train. I think most people, in most dealerships I go and I do some consulting from time to time, they're just not role playing. And I don't know what it is, but they have to role play, because I'd rather them, practice and fail in front of someone else than practice and fail in front of the customer.
That's it, boys and girls. The 5-Minute Sales Meeting. Thanks for tuning in. Get out there and make somebody's dreams come true.